representation is difficult in TV and film. To succeed as an actor, you almost need to be able to play politics. Let me not say almost, you do need to. This is something that I've learned, that I'm learning. You need to be able to be a politician, almost more than an entertainer. You need to actually marry the two, but you're gonna probably use politician more than entertainer. It's probably really only a couple segments where you get to be an entertainer, and that's between action and cut and maybe schmoozing at some kind of party, but the schmoozing can't last all night. You can't schmooze all night. You fuck around and schmooze all night, you're gonna lose, all right? Representation is difficult because a lot of times people get into this game with their ego. They get into this game with this mindset that they can be successful and that they deserve to be successful and that they're special and that they're beautiful. All of those things, take them, have them. You are that for sure. But to make this work, you have to be a politician. And what that means is you have to be more of an lubricator than an agitator. That's something that I've struggled with a lot. I've had a lot of reps. And one of the things that I've struggled with is expressing myself to them in a way that lubricates them as opposed to agitates them. Doesn't mean I was wrong, ever. Have I been wrong before with what I've said to reps or what I've asked for? I'll say maybe 2 out of 10 times. And I'm just being nice. I'm just trying to be fair. But there's this idea that they work for you. In my opinion, that's not how this works. In my opinion, that's not how this works. It is, but it isn't. I hate to be flip-floppy. I hate to play both sides or be on the fence, but it's extremely confusing. But I do believe it's possible to understand what's really going on. Reps have firmly placed themselves in the way. They're like the electoral college or some shit. I feel like reps are low-key the real stars of the show. Not the TV show you're watching, the movie you went to go watch. They're the stars of the show. The show. They're the stars of the show. They're the stars of what's going on in the background that's making it all work. They're greasing things along. They're moving things along. And they know that. And if actors don't know that, if writers don't know that, if directors don't know that, then you might see them, approach them, speak to them, use them as if they work for you, especially when you go to these acting classes. Part of the reason why I don't like a lot of acting classes is because those people teaching the classes aren't necessarily actors. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they're actors who haven't worked that much. Sometimes they're actors who are just telling you stuff that they've heard. Sometimes they're actors who are telling you stuff that they want. But they don't really teach you things like set politics between you and your reps. They'll talk to you when you ask basic questions about getting a rep, but they can't really teach you about keeping one. A lot of people who have reps and have had reps for a long time don't even talk to their rep. Their rep is doing something else, signing someone else. A lot of these reps, I won't say a lot of them, depending on what company, a lot of them are on salary. You get a rep on salary, they don't even need you. How the fuck they work for you? The company paying them. I was at 3 Arts. I was so happy about being at 3 Arts. But then I realized this is a little funny because the hunger here is different. They win differently here. And if my manager is making his money, his or her money from the company and not from me, does he really need me? Do my ideas really matter? Shit, you getting paid more than me, to be honest. Unless I'm on a show, and it ain't every actor on a show. I'm going to try to find a percentage of how many actors are out here in the world and how many actors are working. Guarantee you that number is ridiculous. Guarantee you that number doesn't make any sense. Guarantee you if I saw that number, I might even second guess why the fuck I'm doing this. It's probably like 20%. I think reps, I'm not talking about all reps. So if you're a rep and you're watching this, you take it however you want to take it. But I've had a lot of reps at a lot of different companies, small, mid, big. And I personally think reps have huge egos that are hidden behind a company name, but they'll tell you that you're the star. I think they have bigger egos than you, but they will tell you that you're the star. They'll tell you that you're the star all while taking 10% of your money. They get your money first. They're in control of low-key everything. In a lot of ways, I've looked at the rep and talent relationship like a pimp and his hoes or a pimp and her hoes. They get some work. They send you some work and you go out there and you slang that thing, hoping to land a return customer, enough to where you are recurring, series regular. And it doesn't sound like a lot when you hear 10%, but when they're getting 10% of 60 actors' income on one job or a multitude of jobs, they banking. If they making 10% on these actors' jobs while getting salary, come on, stop playing. So I have so much I can say about this, and I will get into this a lot more, but I'll leave it at this for tonight. That video of Taraji P Henson when she cried and she was talking about, why am I working this hard? And, the reason why y'all haven't seen me, this, that, and the third. And I get where she was coming from. She said something there, and I'm going to make another video where I'm going to talk specifically about what she was talking about the whole way through and through. But she said something there where somebody in the audience asked her about her representation, and she said, I fired them. And then she kind of backtracked a little bit and was getting ready to say she kind of regretted it a little bit, but then she was like, but nope, and she kept moving forward.
What was the best acting business decision that you made? So whether that be representation-wise...
Firing everybody after Cookie. Everybody had to fucking go. Where is my deal? Where is my commercial? Cookie was top of the fashion game. Where is my endorsement? What did you have set up for after this? That's why y'all haven't seen me in so long. They had nothing set up. All they wanted was another Cookie show. And I said, I'll do it, but it has to be right. The people deserve. She's too beloved for y'all to fuck it up. And so when they didn't get it right, I was like, well, that's it. And then they had nothing else. You're all fucking fired.
I mean,
I'm going to say this, though. It took me years to get there because I did have a bit of Stockholm syndrome. Baby, it's very real. You are the prize. Don't you ever forget that. You are the talent. You are their check. Don't ever forget that. They work for you. And if they're not, somebody else will do it. But I had that for years because I stayed with the same team for years. And now I don't have a lot of regrets. But that's one thing but no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because God, the way he continues, motherfucker God, continues to...
And she talked about it later, kind of gave more insight on it, talking about how you kind of can get Stockholm syndrome a little bit when you have your rep because they feel like they're your person. They're telling you that you're their person, and you don't know who else to trust. You don't know how you can get another rep out here. It's not that easy. It's really not. Lower level, maybe mid. It's not necessarily easy to get to mid, but lower level, yeah, there are some ways for sure. I can tell you some ways easily to get on with a rep of some kind, But it's not that easy to get a respectable rep who's really about their shit, who really knows their shit, who isn't just telling you shit. Part of the reason why it's not that easy is because there are different tiers. With the different tiers, there are different types of people at each tier as well. So if you're at a lower level place, you might get a grinder, but that grinder might not necessarily be as plugged up or connected to the industry. They might just be a grinder because they're trying to get on too. Or you might get a grinder who actually is plugged up, but prefers to be at a lower level because they too don't want to fuck with the politics of a CAA and a William Morris and a da-da-da-da. But it's also very difficult, not just because of the tier system, but it's also very difficult because there is a gate. There is a gate that they use to keep actors out. Actors can't even really just send an email to their favorite rep. You can go ahead and go for it if you can, one, find their email, but also, two, if they accept emails. A majority of these people don't even accept emails. They don't even want your query. They don't want to hear from you like that. So you're liable to write them, tell them why you're perfect for them and why y'all could be perfect together. You could write this amazing query. A lot of them won't write you back. Managers will write you back before agents, but a lot of representatives in general won't write back. And I think in part, a lot of the reason why is because of the gate, and the gate keeps you outside. The gate makes you want them. the gate makes you need them, even though you're the star. You're the star. You're beautiful. Look at you. Oh my God, look at you.
You are the prize. Don't you ever forget that. You are the talent. You are their check.
You're the star. But they can keep you out the gate. And if they keep you out the gate, you're probably not really going to get in the building. There's only a few creators who accept auditions from actors who don't have reps. Tyler Perry's one of the few, but a majority of people spend more time talking shit about his work than they do appreciating the fact that it might be an opportunity to get on. But he's one of the few people where you can actually get on and get some work. My wife has booked pretty big roles on Tyler Perry's show. She booked a show on there that Tyler Perry had created called Caught Up, released, I think, 2023? I think so, 2023. She just auditioned for that right off of Actors Access, right from the website. She sent her thing in and got it. I don't think she had a rep at the time. She got that job on her own. But it don't really work like that, and it's not working like that either. Actors Access has changed. It's not really the type of website that has that heat. Nowadays, when I see roles on Actors Access, it's more so roles for, hard to hire roles, very diverse roles that every rep doesn't just have that kind of actor. But what I believe is happening, though, is when you do reach out to a rep via your email, your query, mid-level, top-level reps, most specifically, a lot of low-level representatives might be looking for people or might accept your query because they're a smaller company. And so they have a different process. But a lot of times, if you reach out to reps, especially agents, let me use agents in particular. Reach out to an agent, 99 out of 100 times, they're not going to write you back. You can have an amazing resume and all. They're not going to write you back because a lot of agents don't want to work with you unless you have a manager. Now you just went from 10% to 20% because a lot of agents only respond to the manager's email. So they only respond to the referral. So they only respond to the other professional who serves as a third party. So they only respond to somebody else that they can talk to instead of just you. Head spinning. It's ridiculous. So this is a hard ass business to really get on and thrive in because it's much deeper than your beauty. No, seriously. It's much deeper than a handsome man, potentially, or a very beautiful woman. It's much deeper. It's, can you lubricate me? Can you get me going? It sounded hella awkward. Oh my God. Can you get me going? Can I like you? If I like you, if they like you, they'll fight for you. If they like you, they will push you. They will get you here. They will get you there. They will, and it might not seem like it's doing anything, but the wheels are turning. The wheels are flowing. But a lot of times you can make your suggestions to your reps and they might say yes and not really do it, or they're liable to just push back, rebuttal, tell you why it won't work. So it's really challenging. The game is the game, though. So it's important to know this so that instead of expecting or just hoping, just wanting, you can make an approach. Whether you don't have a rep or have a rep, you can make your approach more suitable for your long-term goals. You can make your approach more of the type that lubricates as opposed to agitates. Are you a lubricator or are you an agitator? It's a big difference. It's a big difference. If you're a lubricator, your team will work for you. They don't work for you, but they will work for you. They will get behind you and work for you. But the whole idea that they work for you, that one statement that Taraji made, listen, man, I think it's important to stay away from that kind of statement. They work for you. No, they don't. They don't have to. They really don't have to. And they can go hire somebody else. And yes, you are special. You are very special. You, I'm talking to you. But they don't have to work with you. They don't. They don't. They can go hire somebody from the UK. They can go hire somebody from wherever the fuck ever. They might do it just to prove it to you. Last thing I'll say about this and why I say that, representatives are like the real stars, low key. Go on deadline.com, pull up the website, scroll, peruse. You will find that out of 10 articles, probably about 6 or 7 of those articles will be about representatives going from one company to another company or representatives moving up in a company. As an actor, it was easy for me to go on Deadline and just see, oh, Robert Downey Jr. is doing what? Oh, Issa Rae doing what? Idris Elba what? But as a multi-hyphenate, as an actor, as a director, as a writer, as a creative, I go on deadline to find information that can stir up the way I move forward. I find information sometimes on deadline, and that's the reason why I reach out to my reps and say, hey, can we look out for this project? But it dawned on me that I started to see more articles that would say stuff like John Battle leaves Bubble Storm Agency and signs with CAA. John was once literal manager, but is now going to head the animation department at CAA. And in the comments, you'll see 3-4 people who are like, yeah, I love John. Lubricators. Yeah, I love John. Da 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 da. Go, John. Go, John. Go. But you're going to see more of that shit than you're going to see Actors News. And part of the reason why you're going to see more of that than Actors News is because there are representatives who are making moves as well. They are stars of the show. They are. Period and point blank, they are. They are stars of their own thing. They're doing their own thing. They don't actually necessarily need us like we think they need us. They don't necessarily need us the way we want them to need us. They will need you when the time comes that you've already done so much that you are completely undeniable. Completely undeniable. That's when it's easier for them to be like, yeah, I work for you. What do you want to do? Oh, you want to start your own company and I can help you head this department? I'll do it. But all that shit that you see on deadline, it mostly has to do with them making their own moves or them making a move with another big name talent that can afford to make that move, and they can afford to make the move with them. I want to wrap this up. As far as reps go, you need them. You need a good one. I'll talk about what Taraji said. She said that, after Empire, where was her next thing? Where was the next thing? How come she didn't have the next thing lined up? I don't disagree with her. I honestly think 90% of reps absolutely are terrible. I do not say that lightly. I think 90% of reps suck. Truth be told, I mean, in life in general, it tends to always be like a 10% club. It's always like a 10% of everything. That's where the top notch is, So 90% of reps absolutely suck. 90% of reps have that job because they first came to Hollywood and they wanted to be an actor and they were too afraid to, and they got a gig at CAA in the mailroom and they've just been there for 10 years and it's kept them close to the business, A lot of athletes, they leave the game, they're not playing anymore, but they become analysts, and it's like that's their way of being close to the game. It still gets their blood going a little bit. It's not like playing, but they're in the game. They get to talk about the game. They get to break it down. They get to do the things, and so a lot of them are like that. A lot of reps, a lot of people in the industry in general, a lot of reps, a lot of casting directors. I don't know that I've heard anybody's story just yet, and they said a story like on some like, I just always wanted to be an agent, or I always wanted to be a manager. I always wanted to be a casting director. I don't tend to see that. I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't remember ever hearing that. And I've gone to so many different SAG seminars and I watched so many different seminars, and I tend to always hear people say, I tried acting, wasn't for me, and now I'm doing this. Got it. Nothing wrong with that. But they find their lane, they master their lane, and mastering it doesn't mean mastering it like trying to be the best. It can easily mean mastering it to understand how they can progress personally. How can they win at this company that they're at? How do they win? Are they winning because they're getting salary? Cool, got it, I'm good. Are they winning because they just so happen to be getting salary, but they also really give a fuck because they really like their couple clients and they really love TV and they're really passionate about TV and film, and because of that, they're creative as fuck and they're making moves and different top 10%. So what Taraji was talking about when she was like, where is my deal? Where is this? Where is that? How come I ain't got no clothing deal? Cookie was this, Cookie was that. Cookie was that, and all of that, all the snack had to do that. When she was doing all that, I understood where she was coming from. Totally understood where she was coming from. She probably, maybe, I don't know if she was lubricating that relationship from the beginning. She's Taraji P Henson, very big name in the Black community, and not even just in the Black community. She's big. She has done it. She's doing it. I think I could I want to see her doing a lot more. I think she will be doing a lot more just based on the fact that she put herself out there like that. And I think the universe is going to, answer that call. But even before that, I feel like she could have been doing so much more. And I'll just say this, right? Her representative absolutely should have been doing more. Whoever that guy was, that woman was, they absolutely should have been turning the fuck up when she was on Empire. They could have been turning that into all kinds of opportunities and all kinds of deals. All kinds of opportunities should have been at her doorstep because that was a huge show. They were winning Emmys, if I'm not mistaken.
And the Golden Globe goes to Taraji P Henson.
And the Critics' Choice is Taraji P Henson.
And the Image Award goes to
Taraji
P Henson.
This is Taraji P Henson's 6th NAACP Image Award.
So she absolutely should have been able to turn up after that show. There should have been something waiting on her. I believe wholeheartedly that when you are working with reps, it's important to continue looking at the market and looking to see what the market is doing and trying to see if there's other opportunities where you can begin to learn to start trying to pivot so that you can, okay, cool, this show's about to be done. Sometimes you know when your show's about to be done, this show's about to be done, or you just got that sixth sense and you're like, I think this show's about to be done, or I think I'm done. Can we start trying to work out what I can do next? These things should have definitely been in play. So I don't know what her and that person's communication was like, but even if she wasn't talking to that person, you're my representative. And if you need this money, you probably are thinking about these things. And even if you don't need the money, if you're just really passionate about your clients winning, i.e. working for them, you're probably going to be doing all these things. But if you're at CAA, William Morris, etc., you're probably making salary. Probably feels good enough to you, the fact that you have big names on your roster. So you might get caught slipping and lose a client like Taraji P Henson. But I want to say this, that shit is important too. We can't sit around here with this Stockholm syndrome and just be trying to make everybody happy because we're happy-go-lucky and we just want to be with them and they just want to be with us, and which is so fucking good. It just feels so good to be with you, and can't do that. You're mortgaging your life, you're mortgaging your career, you're mortgaging your time on this earth with this other representative. If they are not turning the fuck up, I don't know when I'm gonna see you on TV. I don't know when I'm gonna learn your story. I don't know when I'm gonna hear your story and get a chance to see you in an interview, get a chance to learn more about you and how you made it to this place in your life. Don't know when that's gonna happen. So this works both ways, but it's important that sometimes you pull the trigger. Excuse my language there. It's very, very savage to say that, but sometimes it's important that you give a pink slip every now and again and tell somebody, hey, I gotta go, I gotta leave. It's also part of being a multi-hyphenate. And I think Taraji P Henson would have absolutely been working a lot more. I think she got a deal at BET, but I absolutely believe she would have been working a lot more in the past. I believe it's about to happen, putting that out there. But I absolutely believe she'd been working a lot more had she been more of a multi-hyphenate, not just in the area of doing hair products and stuff like that, but a multi-hyphenate in this business and doing things like bringing the thing to your rep, lubricating the rep and letting them know, hey, you know what? I read this really dope book. I love this short story. I read this article in the newspaper. I read this thing in a magazine, and I just think this is so good. This really spoke to me. Can you help me make this? Can you help me make this? I'd love to be a producer on this. Just like that. Done deal, especially since you're at CAA and you're somebody like Taraji P Henson. Done fucking deal. Done data. It's done. It's a wrap. They're going to get on it. The right rep, that 10%er, they're going to get on it. And it might take a year, might take some time, but they're about to get on it. And you at least won't be sitting out that whole year. You will be working on that thing already. It's about to be set in motion. And now, at least you know what you're about to do next. And now you're not just an actor. You're a multi-hyphenate. You're an actor and a producer. So I think it went both ways. I think her leaving that rep was her opportunity to learn how she needed to move. I think it's pretty wild that somebody like Issa Rae has more real estate, industry relatable real estate than Taraji. I think Taraji probably a much more decorated actress as it pertains to hardware, Emmy, Oscar type shit. I find it fascinating that someone like Issa Rae, Quinta Brunson, can have what they have, at least from the outside looking in. Quinta Brunson with ABC, Issa Rae with Max. I find it fascinating that those two women can have what they have, industry, real estate wise, and Taraji be somebody that's saying that this production company is not taking care of her and they're not keeping her safe and they got her driving to work and they're not paying her enough. That's wild. She's more decorated than them. That's wild. She might not be more decorated than Quinta anymore because Quinta has been winning, but that's fucking wild. And I think automatically if Taraji, becomes a multi-hyphenate in every sense that fits her, that doesn't happen. She's now picking her projects. I'm taking Taraji P Henson over Kerry Washington all day, every day. I'm sorry. Kerry's amazing. But the only reason why I brought Kerry up, Kerry's a multi-hyphenate, and Kerry has been working more. We've been seeing more of Kerry. She's producing certain projects that she's not even on. She's not even showing up for that. That's not even her thing. She might read the scripts and give some notes, but she doesn't show up in the show. She's producing that. She's getting paid on that. So the way we move is huge. We're not just actors. Even if you think you're just an actor, okay, go ahead, do that. I can't tell you nothing. Be that actor. But dog, it's bigger than that. Opportunities are about what you can see. So representative wise, getting a rep, having a rep, keeping a rep, and building with a rep is very challenging. That shit ain't easy. That's probably the hardest thing you're gonna do is finding the right rep. Sometimes to find the right rep, you gotta go through the bad ones. Gotta go through the numbers. It's like batting average. You hit 3 out of 10, you're making millions. But that means you struck out 7 times. You struck out more than you hit. It's like, damn, I didn't want to leave 3 arts, but I had to. I needed to. It was absolutely important for my growth, my evolution. It was important for my time on this earth and my time in this industry. So I left because if it ain't right, it ain't right. If I'm agitating more than I'm lubricating, I'm out. I'll figure out how to lubricate, or the right person will see my style as lube. Such a funny word to use, and I'm using it like crazy. But are you an agitator or are you a lubricator? Are you lubricating or are you agitating?